I have no idea who we are, why we're here, what the hell is going on.
No, we're Davian forces.
I suppose technically, yes, that is true. We're in their employ.
Cobras have provided us with the location of a series of powerful ECM arrays that have been disrupting long-range
this is such a garbage. Let me fix that. Then
we should be able to pierce the localized disruption
my
field
fists.
and get a message out to the system's jump point. We need
Beautiful.
to destroy these ECM arrays.
If you wanted it to be a short range, change the large lasers, the mediums, and the alarms to arms. Add 4 more tons of ammo and the rest of the heat sinks. I don't want to make it super short range, but I did want to emphasize the SRMs because the SRMs deal so much more damage over the alarm tents.
I know it's hard to hear, but it's the simple truth. While we've had our successes, McCarran's armored cavalry still has 4 full regiments of troops on Soina. It's a
That would be a problem.
numbers game.
Oh, target's over to the right.
Is we don't have enough forces to come out ahead. Even with the Crater Cobras and Screaming Eagles, we need reinforcements. And with the system's HPG down, the only way that we can ever hope of getting them is if we get a message back to Davion Command through a ferret message by jump ship. Bringing down these ECM arrays is our only chance at doing that. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this time, all our lives are depending on this. So good luck, Commander.
To be honest, this is not generating as much heat as I was worried that it would.
But even if we take these things down, wouldn't it still be like a month or 2 before reinforcements get here?
Yeah, but running around is a lot easier than having to actually fight a stand-up battle.
True.
So all we gotta do is just like cool our heels for 3 months and just sprint and try not to get caught. Single small razor from when you're under PPC minimum range. It's not even useful for that. To be honest, I'll probably remove it just to throw out a half ton of more armor. It'll be more useful in that configuration.
Agreed.
Oh, we got some interesting structures over here. Oh, battle mech. I will grant you that it's not much of a battle mech, but it is still technically a battle mech. Of course, his sole defiant act is to fire a small laser directly into my cockpit.
Igor is coming in.
Assassin's lost his legs. Holy crap, how much health does this thing have? There we go.
That was a transmission on the AFFC's command line. The first one since we've arrived at Soina. I can't make out anything in it, but destroying the other ECM towers might allow us to hear the broadcast.
How much you want to bet that it's the Kestrel Lancers? They're already on their way, and they're just trying to figure out what's going on.
Probably.
It's a Rifleman 3C with 2 AC-10s. Like you can stay over there.
That was my face, and you can stop shooting at me.
Just core him. Hey, no more riflemen's here.
Detecting targeted battle mech in the area.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Commando. It's been a while since we've seen one of you. I don't know if that small laser killed him or not, but it certainly looked like it did.
No.
On my screen, I turned on that small laser, swept across it, and it immediately exploded. It was kind of hilarious, actually.
You don't have a Doomsday small laser.
It is the Doomsday small laser. It will be the doom of this entire planet.
More Igors
Igor.
coming in.
Yep. Cycle back, cycle back. Well, that's unfortunate.
Damn it! Commander, the ECM disruption is weakening, but McCarran is encircling our forces while you're attacking the ECM installation.
That's a Grand Dragon.
It is.
It's actually like a decent mech.
We need those towers destroyed so we can find a gap in their line.
It's a shame Reggie isn't here.
Too long and too hard for this to be our end.
Well, just
It's
hold
probably
tight.
gonna be
We
your
got
end.
it.
Listen, we all know it's gonna be his end. Come on, man.
There's one leg. God, awesomes are so much fun. Yep, I knew it. Yeah, it's the Lancers. The Awesome was actually my first assault mech in MechWarrior 5. And it is still just as fun then as it is today.
Our tactical projections are not good. The only way we can break through McCarran's forces is if we abandon our wounded. That is not something I'm willing to do. We're preparing to make our last stand. Finish the mission, Commander. Then get as far away from us as possible. Regroup with Captain Damu. Get a message back to Davy in command. Survive.
I like this guy.
Colonel Westrake, I'm sorry
Too bad
we
he's
couldn't
gonna
do
die.
more.
I don't think he's going to die.
It's okay. It's the part of the job that all of us mercenaries must accept at some point. Today, it's just my time.
We can't get around the back of this blackjack and surprise, punk! Surprise awesome really ought to be a thing.
Well, this is an awesome surprise.
It is a very awesome surprise.
Well, it's not an awesome surprise for him, but
He'll come to appreciate it with age.
We have an Orion.
Cataphrag with the ECM.
It's a shut down cataphrag with an ECM.
Why is it shut down?
I don't know, but don't shoot it, don't shoot it.
Do you
Ed,
want me to head cap it?
I did.
Okay.
Alright, this one's flattened. We got two more, and they're in opposite directions. I do not want to break up the crew.
Head cap, maybe.
Sure. Oh, I cooked it. Need an awesome size cake for it to jump out. Yep. We all know the best assault mech is Urban Mechs. I think you may be missing a couple of dozens of tons right there for an assault mech. Who's the fastest mech we have right now?
Me, maybe? Question mark.
Alright, you're not that fast. Medium fries. Don't you just love how the achievements basically reset after every single one of these we do? I don't know if that's an epic problem or if that's just a general game problem.
That's a general
No.
game problem.
Yeah.
Every time you restart the campaign or career, it resets the achievements.
I'm not an achievement hunter, so it doesn't really matter so much for me, but it is kind of funny. Alright, this beacon's down. We got one left to go. God, I love these awesomes.
More VTOLs.
I see it. I think I missed him. Luckily, I have backup. You can make up for my mistakes. $1,700 meters. You know, urban mechs can take more hits than an assault mech around line. Can they? I know they so they have a really good torso twist. I'll grant you that. But I don't know. I think I'd rather have a Marauder 2C. Although maybe not, actually, now that I think about it. Because Marauder 2C is huge. Marauder... No, 2C. I was thinking the Marauder 2, but I'd rather have the 2C, because the 2C is much smaller than the Marauder 2. I know what I'm talking about, just sometimes it doesn't come out of my mouth right. Because he got the bullet nose. The bullet nose is God. I would not want to take an awesome in MechWarrior Online, though. It's too flat. Too slab-sided. But yeah, my prediction is the Kestrel Lancers are going to give a call as soon as we blow up that last one. They're going to hot drop on top of the Crater Cobras, and everybody will be saved. And victory on Sarna will be ours.
Target acquired. Unit
You know, looking at this layout, there's all these nice houses, but then there's artillery.
Oh, there's a
Like
K2
what-
out there, fellas.
Yep.
So what happens when enemies invade and they're like, oh, by the way, you know, artillery's firing into your houses. Don't mind the ear-shattering noise.
Human shield tactic. Get the Jenner as well. Cycle.
This is Arden Sortek of the Davion Heavy
Do
Guard
it!
calling all surviving forces of the Federated Suns. We have breached Sarna's atmosphere and are available to reinforce on your position. Is anyone out there? Please respond. Again, this is Arden Sortek. Colonel Sortek, this is Colonel Richard Westrick with the Crater Cobras.
Hit that
My
K2.
God, is it good to hear your voice. The Crater Cobras and the Screaming
Kill
Eagles
him!
are pinned
There we
down
go.
50 clicks east of the city
Maybe we'll get
of
lucky and we'll be able to get him.
along the coast.
K2 catapult would
We
be pretty fun.
estimate that the Big Mac will have us completely surrounded in 3 hours. Transmitting exact coordinates now.
And do over mechs have so much bonus armor from Quartz and Armor Tree? Small size, big. Oh, okay, yeah, that's fair.
Hold fast,
If did a clan expansion, what mechs would you want to see added first?
This is Captain Alana Damu with
I know
the
what they
survivors
would
of
add
the
first.
Started Fusiliers. We don't have
Hang
much
on, I'll
left,
answer that in a
but
bit.
we are moving to assist. ETA 2 hours.
Looks like our salvation is here, Commander. I've marked a new exfil site on your map. Let's get out of here. and
Of
join the others.
course.
Yeah.
It's
Is it
3
actually-
kilometers, more than in the
course.
opposite direction. So I don't think it's a matter of what I would want to see first, it's what I know they would add first. And the first thing they would do is Timberwolf, Mad Dog, Masakari, Adder, and Kit Fox. Those, without doubt, those would be in the first 5. Let's see, what other super popular mechs? Nova. Probably a Supernova, just because everybody wants to be able to boat, you know, maximum LRMs.
Blackhawk?
That's a Nova.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Mad
Eben
Dog.
Jag? Yeah, Eben Jag could be up there. It's pretty nice. So, Derek, do you like
Direwolf.
the new maps and missions? The new maps are interesting. Uziel is not a clan mech. Love the Kit Fox. I know everybody likes Kit Foxes. They're fast, they're nimble, they're cool. I would want to see a Cougar. I really like Cougars.
Target destroyed.
Timberwolf is the best. The Timberwolf suffers from being so hyped. Like, that's the biggest problem with that mech, is that everybody loves it. And so it kind of... I'm one of those contrarian people who's like, everybody likes this mech, I don't like this mech. That's just sort of the person I am.
The
Although-
Evan carry with hardened armor.
It's always a good time. I do love Uzi's look, but we're not going to see an Uziel until the 3060s, unfortunately. Did you say Hellbringer? I did not say Hellbringer, but I don't think that... So the Hellbringer's not really an iconic clan mech. At least I don't think so. The Summoner would be another iconic one. I was
Mad
thinking of
Dog.
something. I love... A Huntsman should be in, but also I can understand why they wouldn't. If we are assuming that they're if we're limiting to like the top 8 clan mechs that they bring in instead of the entire roster, you get your Kit Fox, because you got to have your light. Your medium would be your Nova. Your heavy would be your Timberwolf. Your assault would be your Masakari. And then you get a Mad Dog. And then 3 others would be the Summoner, the Supernova, and maybe the Eben Jag. Or the Puma. The Puma probably too would be a pretty good one.
The Daishi?
Oh, duh. Yeah, Direwolf. Has to be a Direwolf. I can't believe I totally missed that.
Dire whale.
No one... Direwolf would be amazing if it didn't use a 375 engine. I disagree. I think you need a big-ass engine. A
Nah,
325
you
is
need that
fine? No, I don't think so.
Wow, that's 75-ton mech.
Yeah, you
plans
can't-
are all about speed.
Yeah, you can't have a 325 and a 75-ton mech. It's a 300 or a 375. You take your pick. And yes, I know in MechWarrior Online and this, you can have mid-level tonnages, but working off a tabletop, you're not allowed to do that. If the Heroes of the Innistrier did 7 mechs, I'd say it is pretty reasonable. Yeah. So you get one from each class, and then you'd get the really popular ones. So. Or 2 from each class, I suppose, so.
Moon.
Okay.
I was supposed to get the point.
Moonwind got it first. Slow. You are slow. That's why he brought the Zeus. They have speed. They're all 100 tons of flying hate, and the Nova Wolf because that's Alpha and Ghost Sun. I'm fairly certain that the Nova can't Alpha without just instantly dying. Well,
Yep.
it's not in tabletop. Because, like, that's 60 heat instantly.
You can have 16 medium lasers on that thing.
It's 16? I thought it was 12.
Well, it has 12, but it could put 16.
Okay.
You know, they just didn't go full ham, apparently.
Oh, do we want the Grand Dragon, the Rifleman, or the Catapult? Oh, that's rough. All our good picks.
I don't know. I like dragons, but I'm biased.
Got a good nose. Did anybody have double heat sinks? They shouldn't, but okay. We checked. And give me, I guess we'll take... Wow, we were just fighting all the people with the worst lasers. 16 double heat sinks, that's 32 heat. Yeah, so you're going to be plus 28 after one round of shooting. What I meant, 11 Kleiny air PPCs. Yeah, that would just instant death. Absolute death. No questions asked.
You can't get that many.
Commander Captain Temu, we're about to engage in the fight of our lives. The Capellans know that if they can't wipe us out before the heavy guards touch down on Sarna, then it's all over for them. Their only hope of maintaining control of the planet will be to utterly destroy our forces so that when Colonel Sortek touches down, they'll have the numbers to fight him back. We've all gone through too much just to lose everything in the end. We need to muster whatever strength we have left to hold the line until Colonel Sortek relieves us. Gather your best mechs, equipment, and MechWarriors and meet my Crater Cobras at the following coordinates. Prepare to give the Big Mac everything we've got. We did not go through 6 months of hell just to die here on the day that the reinforcements arrive. The only thing left to do is hold the line. We do that and we live to see tomorrow. We have what, like a day at best?
We don't have any time.
This is an instant turnaround? Yup.
Sure is.
Okay. Let's see. We got 2 Cataphracts, an Archer, and a Warhammer. I mean, there's been worse.
This is how we do it.
I guess I'm taking one of these Cataphracts and... Moon, which Cataphract you want?
Guess this goes. We gotta take the Warhammer. Still take the Warhammer.
Alrighty. I shall bring... I probably should bring the better one, but no, I'm gonna bring the 1X. Miranda, don't you want to drive a Cataphract?
Nah.
Okay.
I'll just spam missiles.
Don't
That's fair.
worry, we're almost, only like 85 tons underweight.
Not even a full energy annie can hold 11 PPCs. I've tried. What, in this game or just in MechWarrior Online? Because in MechWarrior Online, you can do 11 PPCs on a Direwolf.
You can't. You, explode after you do,
In this
do it
game.
once.
You can do it twice. Ready up. Okay. Yeah, you can do it twice before, and after that, you just instant meltdown. But part of the reason why you can't do that in this game is because we don't have Omnimex, which, if they include Omnimex, then we're going to have all the hard points in the universe.
This is it, everyone. Colonel Sortek is on the verge of making planetfall and is en route to our position.
Let's
Terrence
roll.
knows that if we successfully relink with the Davian heavy guards, they're done for. So they're gonna throw everything they have at us, trying to put us in the ground before Colonel Sortek's reinforcements arrive. We've spent the past 6 months in hell, cowering and sulking in the shadow of those bastards, trying to survive against unprecedented circumstances. No dropship support, no air support, no way of communicating with the jump point. Hell, we even made it by with no HPG, completely blind to the rest of the inner sphere. We made it through all of that. But today, finally, we can stand tall against these Capellan bastards. Today is a day of retribution. Today we are finally taking the fight to them.
Fusiliers, I'm not one for speeches as eloquent as our mercenary friends. We have been struggling to survive.
Was she trying to put him down for that?
With the blood of our fallen brothers and sisters.
I don't think so.
Just remember, they're still
I think that was basically her saying, yeah, he knows his shit way better than I do. I just kind of, inherited this position by, people
I found a new hobby.
We have contact.
What's the new hobby?
Dead ahead. All
Punching
forces
trees.
fire at will. Stay in cover
Got a Jaeger Mech 6A and a Hunchback 4G.
resounding support.
Commander, Colonel Westrick is right about one thing. The Mechanic's
Destroy all
forces
mechs.
will
Oh, this
be
is great.
relentless. There's no telling when the Davion heavy guns will
Destroy
make it to the
all
field.
mechs?
That's
Oh,
what
dear
it
God.
said.
We need to support one another
What,
if
we're
we
just
want
gonna
to
like
make it
gang
out of
up
this
on the
alive.
Big Mac and try to
Tread
wipe them out?
carefully, Commander.
Yeah, pretty much. Sadly, I don't like a
Well-
lot of assault mechs, mainly because MWO I can never do well with them. I keep dying before I can get 600 damage for heavy mechs. I prefer heavy mechs because they offer a better combination of heavy firepower and speed.
Vindicator. Cataphract, you're in the line of fire.
Well, you can move and take the shots. I'll focus on this Vindicator.
Two Vindicators.
Yep.
One Vindicator leg.
There's a Raven out here.
Okie doke. There we go. Vindicator's lost his main armament. Oh, you're not dead. Now he's dead.
Magic.
Target acquired.
Oh, they got a cataphract.
New target.
Cataphract and a blackjack. I'm pulling off.
6 months. McCarran and his cronies have taken 6 months and hundreds of our brothers and sisters' lives with them.
Team Mick is what I can only do one. Hopefully not, because I don't want to have to fight my own people again. That's a morale killer real fast.
Target
Jenner down.
Target acquired.
See the blackjack?
Cataphract.
Oh, see the
coming up.
Yep. He just got a piece of me.
Thanks,
Now he
Hunchback,
wants
for
more.
shooting me in the back.
Alright, blackjack's in a bad way. A little more pressure and he should go down. There he goes.
Destroyed. Target acquired.
Did you head
That
cap?
Cataphract. Yeah, that Cataphract I think we had kept.
Nice.
I almost had kept him, but didn't get the last hit.
Yeah, you shut down. I was like, I guess I should shoot him.
Yeah.
Since when has Battletech or MechWarrior ever been kind to Capellans? Even Capellans say Capellans? This is true. They have never really had much good lore, although McCarran's Armored Cavalry is always pretty popular.
Vindicator, 1R.
You doke. Oh, we got a friendly Hunchback moving up. Good.
Yeah,
Take
go
him,
soak
Hunchy.
some damage.
2 Vindicator, 1Rs.
I mean, it is Capellans. You know, technically, if we really get into a throwdown fight, me and that Vindicator, he will win. Because he's got better long-range weapons than I do.
Careful, Kintaro.
Yeah, we don't know how long this mission's going to be, so be a little bit conservative. Especially since you're losing an arm. Yeah, dude, hiding back.
Blackjack's moving up.
Target acquired.
And I'm pulling back. Start pulling back, let that other AI get involved as well.
Use the buildings as cover.
Yep. Or, you know, he could start lighting me up. That's always fun. Allies trying to kill me.
Target acquired.
Lot of blackjacks. Jeez. It's 3 blackjacks.
They love their blackjacks, man.
Me too. Trying to get out of the line of fire for a bit. Jaegermech, can you please, for the love of God, just get involved in this battle? You have a lot of firepower, and we kinda need it.
Target acquired.
got another one down.
Forces of the Federated
Another
Suns,
one.
My Davion heavy guards have just touched down. Our
Oh, good.
RogueTech drops scattered us across a wide area. We are
Oh, so they're
reforming
gonna
our lances
trickle in,
and about to
right?
move on your position
Oh, we'll be
now.
reborn? Maybe.
ETA 2
The only decent Capellan leader was
Hold
Sensu,
up
and he
just
pretty
a
much
little
all he did
longer.
was, how about we don't kill everybody? Well, he was pretty smart. Whole bunch of social reforms. Alright, so where's our buddies? Oh, there they are. Great, so the first mech that they dropped down was a Centurion and a Cicada.
Great.
Our hunchback buddy has a small laser, and that's it.
Well,
I know the feeling.
he can be a meat shield.
Well, he doesn't have much meat. He's almost core.
Who's up front? Kentaro, pull back! Jesus, Serendo, you trying to get killed? That's their spawn point. You
Howdy.
shouldn't be there.
Listen, the hunchback died to give you 10 seconds to flee.
Yeah, we're gonna fall back. Let the rest of the Lancers show up, and let's rally behind the Jaeger over here, because he should get involved in this fight. He's untouched right now. It's the good Jaeger too, the one with the big missile launchers.
Well, this kid is here. Ah, yes, more Vindicators.
And more blackjacks.
Just wave after wave after wave of blackjacks.
Forces of the Federated Suns. The Davion heavy guards are here to assist.
Oh, apparently the rest of the heavy guards just showed up.
To McCarran's armored cavalry.
That's our cue, Commander. One last push.
Oh, he
and
just
then it's
crumpled.
over. Let's finish this.
Get out of the sky, you punk!
Yeah, he can stay in the sky.
Target destroyed.
No, because he's got to come down in order to die.
That's a stalker.
Stalker.
Oh, well, I don't want to go face tank that.
And another cat effect for DCM.
Alright, I'm pulling off to the side again. Where are the Lancers? Seriously, you brought 2 Centurions, man.
And 2 cicadas, so cicada's already up in there. But
Oh no, 3 Centurions. You could use something a little bit heavier, dude. Oh god, that's a stalker.
They've downed a number of our battle mech forces. Commander, we can really use an assist.
Yeah, really.
Well, to be fair, he actually has only killed one of ours.
Forces of the Federated Suns.
Ah, the loyalty of the
No quarter.
armored cavalry.
For months, these wolves have hunted you like prey lost in the woods. But now you have a chance to defang McCarran's armored cavalry once and for all.
Take the head off the cataphract.
For the 5th Certus Fusiliers.
Come on, look at me, look at me.
Did I just hear that?
Got it.
right? McCarran's forces are withdrawing. Is there really a need to run them down?
We're still at war.
Where's that
Dad.
stalker?
The
Oh, there he is.
Federated
Right in
Suns
front of
need
us.
to ensure that an elite unit such as McCarran's is crippled as much as possible to put all of House Leon in a position of vulnerability.
I
in the
shouldn't walk
future.
around the front of that. I got
also
too many open
imagine
parts in order to try that.
compassion and reason are the last things on the minds of everyone that went through the last 6 months of hell at the hands of the armored cavalry. For better or
Got it.
worse, we still
Well done.
I
have
lost the
our orders.
PPC, but
Let's help
considering
clear the
that's all I
field and
lost,
see this battle through.
Not bad.
To all forces of the Federated Suns, we have
Well done,
cleared the
everyone.
field. Sarna is ours.
Alright, so that took work.
Commander, I just want to say thank you. If you hadn't come to help us all those months ago, I have no doubt in my mind that we would have died like the rest of our brothers and sisters. in
So
the
what you're
pit.
saying is combat bonus.
We'll never forget what you
we
did for
don't
us.
really come to save you. We came here to do a mission.
Likewise, Captain.
I mean, we don't need to tell them that until after we have the combat
Never
bonus.
been able to complete our missions for the Kestrel Lancers. Now let's all fall back in with the heavy guards and finally get some R&R. It's been one hell of a campaign.
With this many blackjacks, are you sure enough we are fighting the Capellans and the Davians? I'm fairly certain. They use the orphanage to recover. Yeah, that's a lot for you. Oh, not bad. We have successfully won the battle for Sarna. Although I'm actually going to have to take some time on Sarna to look up this battle to see just how accurate they are or not, as the case may be. Because I'm interested to see how the Wabi wrinkle is, if that's actually a part of normal lore or if they just made that up. If they made that up, that was dumb.
I'm guessing they made it up.
Hey, who wants a stalker?
We just lost a lot
Yes.
of points for House Lao.
I mean, I would expect having conquered a planet. Yeah, they may not be too thrilled with us right now. Commander, I've just received word from Arden Sortek. I cannot tell you how glad I am to hear that you made it through the Sarna campaign. When I heard the armored cavalry ambush and the HPG being destroyed, I feared that I may have condemned you all to death. You had all the Kestrel Lancers worried about you. While I am sorry that I cannot be there on Sarna to debrief you in person, there's still much time for me to do here on Tigris. Please accept this canned message as your formal debriefing. By the time Comstar is able to deliver this message to you, our offensive, which the news feeds have been taken to calling the Fourth Succession War, will be over. As I speak, Comstar is negotiating the end of all hostilities between the five great houses. When all is said and done, the Capellan Confederation will have to capitulate that it has lost over half of its former territory. Most of it will be claimed by House Davian through the right of conquest, but some by two former Capellan commonalities declaring independence from the Confederation. So that'll be nice. The first to break away was the Tikhonov commonality. They will be holding out hope that the Confederation would come to their aid, but after being cut off from the direct logistical route to Xi'an, they eventually declared independence to spare their citizens from further Davian invasions. You won't believe who leads them. Our old friend Pavel Ridzik. After he managed to escape our forces and fled Tikhonov, Strategic Director Ridzik retreated to Elgin, where he took control of the region, declaring himself Supreme Lord of the Tikhonov Free Republic. His reign didn't last long as an assassin killed him back in June. The other breakaway was the St. Ives I thought it was compact, not commonality. The former heir of the Confederation, Candice Lau, abandoned her father to declare her province independent from the Confederation. We can't imagine how Maximilian Lau is taking that one. Not well, and I imagine much chewing of the carpet is being had. Comstar is negotiating to formally recognize these independent provinces as new nations once their leaders can charter the new laws of their provisional government. Be sure to be on the lookout for those two once all the dust settles later this year. The next item we'll discuss is the destruction of Sarna's HPG. After the Fusiliers destroyed the HPG, Comstar was furious with the Federated Sons, claiming us ultimately responsible for its destruction. They put the entirety of the Federated Sons under interdiction, cutting off interstellar communications and commerce between hundreds of Federation worlds. Your report about the imposter Fusiliers captured by Captain Demu couldn't have come at a worse time. Had we known about this a month ago, we would have been able to mount a defense against Comstar's accusation, but First Prince Davian has already agreed to allow Comstar to station their own mech security forces at every HPG in the Federation to ensure that such a debacle never happens again. It's much too late to defend our role in the Sarna HPG attack now, even if we know that we were not responsible for its destruction. Interdiction, along with the war effort, sent the Federated Sons' economy into a tailspin. Had they maintained their interdiction, Comstar could have very much bankrupted the entire Confederation, which brings me to the most uncomfortable parts of the debrief. Oh no. Commander, the Federated Sons can no longer financially support the remainder of our contract with your unit. Well now, I'm to inform you that we are invoking our cancellation clause and releasing you from the remaining 4 months of your contract. You will be compensated with your agreed upon MRB release bonus. I'm sorry our time together had to end like this, Commander, but it's completely out of my hands. The Crucis Lancers won't be escaping the budget cutbacks either. Well, for the time being, my command will still exist on paper. For the most part, most of the personnel of the 2nd Crucis Lancers has been consolidated into the 3rd Crucis under Marshal Pedrosa's command and will continue to garrison Tigris. I currently exist to ensure the Kestrel Lancers continue to be a paper tiger for our enemies while the Federation's economy recovers from the war. But I won't let this deter me. I forge the Kestrel Lancers from nothing once I can do it again. Although you won't be around to help me this time, Commander, I'll never forget the contributions you and your team made to keep the legend of the Kestrel Lancers alive. We'll be back, stronger than ever, you'll see. Goodbye, my friend, until we meet again. I'm not sure we're friends anymore, now that you've stiffed me from the rest of my contract. Got some double heat sinks?
He gave us 10 double heat sinks, so he's still my friend.
New transmission?
I mean, a UAC, ER large laser, some LRM-20s with Artemis. He's not a bad guy.
According to Sarna, about Sarna, there was a war between the Capellans and Davians with the same mercenaries and companies involved, except Mason's mercs. Of course, yes, that is true. We're not into this. Commander, I'm sorry to see that the COC command saw the need to cut your contract short, but I'm told that it could not be helped. No one could have anticipated Comstar's interdiction or the economic crash that preceded it. Although the Federated Sons are still willing to offer you short-term, localized contracts, I'm afraid any long-term commitment is simply not on the table until our unification into the Federated Commonwealth next year. First Prince Davian had asked me to relay relay to you a message on his behalf. He asked me to commend you on your good work throughout the campaign on behalf of the 2nd Cruises Lancers. The Lancers owe you a debt of gratitude for being such a reliable force throughout the 4th Succession War. Unfortunately, Commander, Hans has also deemed that large amounts of your campaign for the Federated Sons are to be expunged from the official records as top secret, and this is our workaround of why we are in no source books. Your inclusion on the 2nd Cruises roster, the hidden Earthworks factory, that we now possess, the stolen Mio codebooks, and how close the enemy was to getting them, your mission on Sarna, and your capture of the true assailants of the Sarna HPG attack, all these things will be classified as classified as state secrets, and never to be mentioned or talked about ever again. Well, I know the strings is often just the way things are for a mercenary, just like your father knew when he agreed to the House Sensation contract. Although we aren't in any position to financially compensate you in the same way we rewarded your father for his loyalty and silence, we do have some early prototypes from the new Avalon Institute of Science that Hans would like to give you. Prototypes that have never been achieved have it not been for the service of both you and your father. Hans hopes these prototypes serve you well and wants you to know that once the unification of the Federated Commonwealth is final, you have a place among us if you choose to join our cause. I hope you consider taking Hans up on that offer. The Federated Commonwealth can use all the help we can get, making a better, more peaceful industry. Until then, Commander, this is goodbye.
So the only thing we get is an AMS out of that?
I mean, this is the most advanced high-tech technology ever seen in the history of mankind, clearly. Let's see if we can't find Tikhonov. Oh boy, it's somewhere north. And
Yeah, I think it's northern tip of Capellan space.
so,
There it is.
where?
Like near the finger points of it.
Near the finger point of...
They look like more west. Or, sorry.
It's on the east side. It's
This
over
is-
by
I see it.
near,
It's a shame that it's not actually being flipped over to us. Oh well. Guess we can...
It might at the end of the year.
Hello, bro. So let's completely erase any records about Dreamfield. Yeah. To be completely honest, I kind of would have preferred it if they had, if they said that they were going to be releasing updated sourcebooks, but I suppose they would have had to have spoken to, God, who are they? To CLG about that, and they hadn't, so. Alright, how much is this Enver? Alright, we're going to, I would repurchase it if I had space. Just to have the hero mechs.
Yeah, but we don't need it.
Yeah, let's go to Lee. Friendly space, where we can hopefully rearm, repair, and reload. We all know that Kyogre is the real hero. Ooh, here you got fans now.
What's with me putting myself in the front lines for you guys?
I mean, you did damage my Kintaro really, really badly. Kill 3 wolfhounds. Sure.
You were cut from the official logs from the state secrets. Yada yada. Your existence isn't even realized.
You never existed. You did not hear that torpedo hit the sub. You heard the torpedo hit the sub and sink it, and I was never here. What kind of equipment are they actually selling? Any gas rifles? Although it is still fairly early in the timeline. So... it's what, 30-30 now? Yeah, January 4th, 30-30. And just a quick check. Legend of the Kestrel Lancers. Air of Nothing. 30-28 looks to be a... this was already done though, wasn't it? Oh, wow. So there are still 6 missions left. Don't know where that is going to be. Alright, so it seems that some of these missions are a little bit bugged in their completion, but that's fine. Character cheerleading squad. You can't do AC-20 again. Character prefers missiles, though. So lore is done, now on to mods. Yeah, we'll probably do some modding for possibly tomorrow. Because I think that's the mainline campaign. So... after having played through the mainline campaign, we know that it takes about 6 hours. You can do that faster if you're really good at the game. You can do that slower if you're really bad at the game. But that campaign, it's not worth 20 bucks. For 20 bucks, I would expect better cutscenes that go over a lot of the information that we had to read out. I just would have expected more than what we ended up getting. But there's so much text that basically reads out as an as you know sort of deal. The fact that all of our actions meant ultimately nothing, slightly disappointing, but I kind of understand. They would have had to work closer with CLG on this one about reprinting the Fourth Succession War source books, and I don't think they would want to do that anyway. Plus, that would piss off basically all tabletop community. But it's not worth $20. The new mech variants that came to everybody, 3 new biomes. They're nice. They are the best biomes that we've come across. The Mega City's a little disappointing, but like the jungle biome, that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, there's all kinds of ridiculous amounts of trees everywhere, but it's pretty nice. And the changes in verticality are really cool. So good work with the biomes, but again, it's not worth $20. If there had been more mechs or something, or if the melee system felt smoother than it is, 6 hours call blows down. 6 hours is the minimum amount of time you need to spend painting your mix to decide on colors. I mean, if we were playing in the tabletop, sure, maybe. Remember that time I jinxed Jaeger nearly to die in the first mission of the BTA Advanced campaign, thinking AC-10 edge. Rough. Yeah. Is it worth $20? No. It's worth getting it on sale. $10 maybe. $5 absolutely. $10 maybe. If you can find it for $10, I think that's probably worth it. Although now that you've seen the story, there's no like twist or turn on that. It does offer some more interesting campaign maps, which we do need. The procedural generation's one thing. We'll check out more about what, if any of the procedural generations change tomorrow. But the campaign maps were all pretty fun. It did offer us some interesting visuals, some interesting places to fight over. The Comstar inclusion. If you're not going to lean fully into the idea that we're changing the lore to ensure that it's Word of Blake blew up the things in order to ensure that they could move the comm guards into all of Davian space without anybody batting an eye, that'd be one thing. But like all of this is getting covered up anyway. So it didn't matter that they were included. It just, haha, these are the wobbies, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What mechs would I like to see that add? Well, the Hatchet Man is the obvious inclusion. So... and including a Hatchet Man would have been a good idea. Just because you're introducing a melee system, you may as well introduce a melee mech. I don't know if they have the rights to do that. I know that HBS had an agreement with PGI to use all of their mechs, but I don't know if that relationship goes both ways. Another one that would have been really, really cool to see them at is the Devastator. Like, the Devastator is about 5 years out of timeline from where we are now, because it's 3035 where it gets introduced. But if they had introduced that, that's not in MechWarrior Online, it's not in BattleTech. So you bring it into MechWarrior 5 as a big mech that you're introducing, and it takes place between that 3015 to 3049 time range that you want to maintain. So stuff like that is what I would have liked to have seen added, and they kind of didn't. I would have liked to have seen, I don't know, more equipment, more opening of the equipment, different ammunition types, the introduction of an ammo switching system, but now we're just sort of getting pie in the sky. So it was a good campaign. I would have liked if the plot of the main campaign was more like this one, but I would have preferred the story to be presented in a little less text form, especially because you're paying $20 for it. Are there melee upgrades? DSM hatches? Nope, there is not. So there's no melee equipment anyway. So I'll be interested to see what modders can work up. Wasn't nearly enough enemy SRM carriers to fight? That would have tipped the scales a lot. You do fight a ton of mediums and lights. Like, this campaign does not throw you up against a lot of heavies at all. So
yeah, take out the tanks and add in the medium lights.
Yeah. Take out half of the mediums and replace them with a quarter of that in heavies. Would have been good. I think bringing in the Unseen Crusader. Yes, a Crusader would have been a fantastic inclusion as well. There are a whole bunch of mechs that do exist in this timeline that they haven't introduced, but honestly, the only new mech that we get is a Grand Dragon, and the Grand Dragon is just a dragon with different hardpoints. So, and they also didn't include any of the future Grand Dragons, which is incredibly disappointing, because they only added the 1G, which is the baseline, but since we're going all the way up to 3049, there are better Grand Dragons that come out in later periods that should have been included and weren't. I'm not going to get too hard on their case. Again, I don't think it's worth $20. It is worth 10 probably. The campaign story is better than the original story, but the rug pull of everything you did doesn't matter kind of was a little annoying. You didn't really even have to go that route. Like, you could, I would have, if it were me, and this is just spitballing based on what they presented, I would have gone the Apocalypse Now route, where yes, the Fusiliers did blow up the HPG, but it's because you had that one crazy commander who went nuts and has decided to declare himself god of something. And so now you've got to kill him to prevent him from causing more havoc. So just go that route. But, yeah. All in all, enjoyable. Good campaign. Good maps. The campaign very much had good maps. I was very happy with that. Tonkin heli piloting with vehicle as well, so I can continue to flying cup. Just like, what line is it anyway? Where the points... Oh, whose line is it anyway? Yeah. Sadly for me, I swore to never get MechWarrior 5 because PGI. Really? I know people who have sworn off MechWarrior 5 as long as it was Epic only, but I've never heard anybody who says that they swore off of it just because of PGI. Did you try to switch the mech in the fight option? No, because I always play with other people. So I don't play the game alone, so the mech switching option does nothing for me. I always make sure I've got friends around to basically pick up my slack. And I think the game's more fun that way. Even with the mech switching, I wouldn't recommend this game to you if you were only going to play by yourself. I think it's okay for a more open-ended game like this to deviate from established canon that gives... So I hesitate to agree with you. And the reason why I hesitate to agree with you is because I was amongst the people who were pissed off at the end of the mainline campaign, where you find out that your dad is actually a clanner and you discover clan space out in the middle of nowhere. I was annoyed by that because I didn't feel like they had earned it. So I'm not sure I want to say just openly, oh yeah, do whatever you want, because then I'll feel like a hypocrite. But I do think some of the details of overarching events can get glossed over without just saying, hey, what you did didn't matter at all, because we're going to cover it all up, we're going to hide it all. It felt a little bit weak. But I don't know, what did you guys think?
I prefer a story, an established universe, to follow its canon. This way you get to experience the stories that are being shared of the universe.
So what I'm kind of getting is you would have preferred if we played as Captain Damo.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fair. You have friends at school. Oh, come on.
Well, they could have done it to where you played as like a mech warrior under the Trader Cobras or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you switch to playing as a mech warrior under the Kestrel Lancers with Tikhonov and Tigress, and then you swap back to the Crater Cobras as like
so more like an anthology sort of thing.
Yeah, but oh, by the way, you remember the Crater Cobras? Yeah, this is their mission, and then you can get like a cutscene of them going to the planet, following the whatever the Davian guy's name who led the suicide charge because he has
the Sturgis Lancers people,
dead Duke. Who probably was a traitor anyway, because that's how it works anyway in most BattleTech stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But and then you could be like, you could get a cutscene of them going to there and being like mentally prepared of like, okay, shoot, we're gonna do guerrilla warfare stuff, and then participate in guerrilla warfare stuff, and then swap back to, this offshoot of the Kestrel Lancers going to investigate what the hell is going on in the Sarna, because nobody can reach anybody.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I do want to point out, now that we have traveled, the map has changed. So we have the Tikhonov group up to the north, and we also have the St. Ives Compact down south. So things did happen, and I don't remember Tikhonov being a thing on the map when we've played our modded run-throughs.
No, I don't remember St. Ives either, but...
So they have expanded the map further in the south. They didn't add much to do down south, because this is a 2-to-4 combat area. They still haven't really done much that I think needs to be done in order to make this more playable in terms of playing outside the main deep core. One thing I want to know is, do they have... I don't think they do, but do they have the Oregon Reach?
Probably not, since that was an HPS thing.
I'm not seeing it.
Also, instead of like, the dramatic Comstar speeches or whatever, I think it would have been a lot more unnerving and just really weird if the commander, that captain lady, was being like, who are you people, blah, 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 and it was just silence. It was just, and then maybe they replied with like one sentence of, this is not of your concern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have made more sense.
Instead of trying to make like some semi-grandiose space wizard plot thing, just make them completely creepy. You want to throw like some, because they had all the morality stuff and they had all the like, oh my god, we listen to the people screams die. Just throw these people in who destroyed an HPG, are running Davian IFFs. You know, maybe even because they weren't painted in Davian colors either, which was like, why would you just not have them painted? But whatever, that's a minor detail.
Mhm.
But have them painted, have them, you know, like, and you know, maybe make that mission harder.
Yeah.
You know, and you come and they just like they're all elite mech warriors, and yeah, sure, you beat the mission or whatever, and you know they
Or
kill,
some
you
mech,
know, a
some
bunch of
mechs
them.
with advanced technology in them at the very least, because we were just fighting
Yeah.
normal mechs at that point.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, just again make them that cold, unnerving, where they don't really say anything. They just say small things of just like it's none of your concern. You know,
Mhm.
maybe even extend the olive branch of if you turn around now, we will forget this situation happened.
Yep. Yeah, they're the Comstar curveball is about where the campaign starts going down, because that's when text just starts getting really long, and you're scrolling through multiple pages, and that's when things start getting a little bit off. But up until then, everything except for the Comstar stuff is not bad. So they need to work on their presentation of the story. I think more cutscenes, and talk to your people about pronunciations. I know I shouldn't be annoyed by it, but like the Capellan Confederation and Davians are like really bugging me. And I know
I'm
they
thinking
should.
it is an accent thing.
Jurgen reaches in the gap of systems right below the Capellan Confederation. Yeah, maybe the next DLC will be like a crossover event where they will basically have the BattleTech campaign. That'd be pretty fun. I do think these campaigns should be more anthology based. Mason is not an interesting character, and frankly, neither is Rihanna, and neither is Fahad. Like none of these are like lovable characters that I want to see in the universe a ton. I wanted to see more of Raju and Lady Urano than I want to see of Fahad and Rihanna, which kind of tells you something. So, but I think the next expansion pack could be the Regan Reach campaign. That'd be pretty good if you played as the Marauders. You need mods to play the game, really? Yeah, you really need mods to get mileage out of the game. Like, it's perfectly serviceable to play this game once or twice through, but without mods, like, it gets boring fast.
Especially the hardcore limitations. That really hurts the game.
Yeah, I know there are some people who like it. I just cannot agree, because it takes the mechs, which are supposed to be sort of an example of you, and like the narrowness of these hard points is so small that it's such a pain. Like, I can't do cool stuff with this archer because it's got 2 smalls and 2 medium hard points, and that's it. I can't brace up. I can't try and maximize just a massive LRM barrage or do anything with that. I can't alter engines, internals, and like this game takes place, not the campaigns, but the game supposedly has the timeline to include the recovery of the Helm memory core. So that's XL engines, that's Endosteel, that's not the entire UAC line, but more common with that.
Yeah.
And the fact that they didn't include any of that. Ammo switching would be a big one that they kind of need to include. The inclusion of fisticuffs is important. Yes, I agree. But I think the system is not finished. They need to expand it. The melee combat needs to become more fluid because it's fun. People want to see mechs walk up to each other and beat the living shit of it. Moonman was doing that for half the battle, and it's great.
It's fun punching people.
But like, I can't kick, which kicking is huge in BattleTech. And the punches are so awkward and slow that like, this needs more tuning. And I'm sure mods are going to fix that. I'm sure mods are going to tune melee combat a lot better. But I'm glad that at least they finally brought melee into the game, and I think PGI does deserve points for that. It's one of the reasons why I don't give PGI hassle for this update for not including any new mechs, because you've included a melee system. Okay. It would have been nice that you brought alongside a Hatchet Man, but you brought melee to the game. I'm okay with this. It is somewhat clumsily implemented, sure, but it's a functional system, and that's good. I think they tried to do some weird hardpoint amalgamation of MechWarrior 4 and MechWarrior Online with the small medium. I don't remember small, medium, and large being a thing in MechWarrior 4. But I know that MechWarrior 4, it was?
In Vengeance, at least.
Feel like a MWO style MechLab would be ideal. I would, honestly, I want the full tabletop MechLab. I want to be able to rip apart every single piece of my mech and put it back together. But that would make it too hard with chunks. So at least an MWO one would have been nice.
For MechWarrior 4 Vengeance, you'd have a block of color, and you could fill it in however you'd like. So you could have 6 slots, and you can fill it in with multiples of.
Yep. In engine, I can tell you it looks like just one of the punch animation that's retargeted with IK to a single front point. Yeah. The real question is, why can't you pick up the Lego? Oh, come on. I'm not expecting anything that detailed. Is there any death from above? There isn't. No. You do a small amount of damage from colliding with mechs, but it's not charge damage. It's not death from above damage. It's super weak. All about 1 week of work. I don't know about that. Hatchman would be nice. Yeah, it would. They're working on it, and I'm happy to see them continue. So basically, 1 large hard point equals 3 small hard points. Yeah. So, I hope that they will continue to make more. I do think that if they want to continue at a $20 price point, they're going to have to start throwing some mechs in. Part of me doesn't like that just because of the fact that that's going to start introducing systems where some people are going to... Actually, no, it won't split the community because the game always works off of your host anyway. So, yeah. Their next campaign pack needs to include mechs. Mech Limb does improvised club damage based rolls. So.
Yeah, needs to include mechs, and I think it would do well to include other campaigns, but maybe a campaign that's more than 6 hours. Not knocking them on that, but something to really like sink your teeth in.
Yeah, the reading to action ratio in this was not great. Like
a campaign about Rosselhog would probably interest some people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, you got Rosselhog going up against Karita, you got Steiner supporting them, and then Steiner not supporting them because, wait, you don't want to be our friends? Like, no, we want to be independent, even though we're Comstar Puppet State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely more work that can be done, and I hope this is just a starting point and they continue to improve their DLCs. But this is a glorified mission pack. That's all this is. And $20 for a glorified mission pack with that much just reading. I mean, we got 3 cutscenes in the whole thing, and they were all basically stock footage. So, if you want to throw that much story at me, you're going to have to give it to me in an interesting or interactive way. Doesn't look like they're going to do it interactive, so you got to do it interesting, and they really didn't. I like that I don't need to own the DLC to be able to play with friends. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, they had us do like one mission set for the Taurians and one for the Canopians. You could expand upon the Taurians and the Davins fighting. That's a whole bunch of campaign mission stuff that you could do.
Mm-hmm. And in the mission where we went after the Earthworks Factory, I honestly think that was the best mission in the entire campaign because
Agreed.
You've got very varied terrain, you've got interesting fights, and there was an option where if you decided to bring equipment like jump jets, well, now you have a more strategic use of them because we could have destroyed all of the turrets just by using the jump jet route. Instead, because we didn't have jump jets, we decided to use that tonnage for armor and weapons. We had to fight our way through. So if they had more of that, then I would have liked that a lot better. So I really think if they ever watch this, and that'd be really nice, but I don't think they will. But if they ever do watch this, look at that Earthworks Factory and try and learn the lessons of that because that was the most engaging and most interesting mission in the whole thing. Because you got a little bit of lore about the factories and how impressive they are through some of the comm chatter. You had interesting views, especially because you could look back over your own lance moving through the area. You had interesting fights, and you had interesting options to take. And all of those, that'll give you a really cool thing to do. They sold you a book, not a mission pack.
That mission, it gave me MechWarrior 3 vibes.
A little bit, yeah. So, actually, they should probably just rip off the entire MechWarrior 3 briefing system because that would have been way more interesting than having to read through every single one of those briefings. If you recontextualize all of those pre-mission briefings where they tell you everything, all you needed to do was just do exactly the MechWarrior 3 briefing where you've got the one drone that flies around the map while you've got your cool-sounding commander talk about what's going on. That's all you need to do. And if they do that in the next DLC, that'll be worth $20. Man, live-acted cameos would be so retro cool. Well, they didn't have live cameos, but yeah. So, all right, that's going to do it for us today. We did stream for a little bit longer than we intended. We managed to finish the campaign before even I thought we would. We will probably be doing more mods tomorrow, unless people revolt and decide that they don't want to do, in which case we'll play XCOM again. But yeah, expect us to play more MechWarrior 5 tomorrow. We will probably just continue on this campaign, and we'll just start chucking in mods, unless yet another MechLab or RogueTech gets modified, in which case we will start a brand new campaign because we will have all of the options all over again. So that's going to be cool, and look forward to that. So I will see if I can send you off to anybody. I assume this was interesting. Thank you, Graybeard. Ooh, is anybody actually on? Hey, Gray, who's on? You're normally the person who figures all that out. Who can I send y'all over onto? /raid. Oh, that's all exclamations. Because I don't think Bloody's on. I don't know if HBOT's on. Because I don't know.
Nobody's doing any MechWarrior stuff.
No one's doing any MechWarrior stuff? What?
Not in my view.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we're just going to leave you be then, guys. You have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all in the next episode.
Tomorrow.
Ta.